Welcome to another episode of Real People, Real Life right here in Wichita, Kansas, America. And today we're out here at one of Jen's favorite places to go. Tell us a little bit about where we're at.
We're out at Freedom Hooves Horse Therapy. We're out here with my daughter, and there's another little girl out that rides at the same time. They do therapeutic horseback riding for people with special needs and kids with special needs. And we're just out here checking it out, showing you guys what it's all about.
Now, believe it or not, we are standing right in the middle of Wichita, Kansas. I know it looks like we're out in the country somewhere, but this is a nice little secret in Wichita, Kansas, and I almost missed it.
Yeah.
We are off of Harry. It's 7303 East Harry.
Okay.
And just as soon as you go under that bridge, there is a little drive, and I mean it's immediately, and you turn, you stay to your left, and you'll find this. If you want to just kind of show him what we're standing at, it is a cutest little farm, like we're out in the country. And so just take a look at that. That's awesome, isn't it? And this is right here off of Harry, just before Rock Road.
Yeah.
Just before Rock Road, right after Woodlawn.
You wouldn't know you're out here. I mean, even when you're on the overpass,
you don't see it.
You don't see it.
You can't
just
see
amazing.
it. So this is definitely one of Wichita's little secrets.
Yes.
And as Jen was saying, they do therapeutic horseback riding here. Now, Jen, how do you contact these people?
Well, you know, the reason I found out about them, this last year, the CDDO, which is part of, we're in Butler County, but Sedgwick County has one too. They help fund programs for therapy for kids with special needs. My daughter has autism, among a few other things. And it was through them that we started looking at horse therapy. And I looked at probably 2 or 3 or 4 places here in the area, in Kansas in general, because there's not a lot of them. And this is the place that the CDDO settled on sending her to, and we've just been so happy. Everybody's great out here.
So what are some of the benefits from therapeutic horseback riding
well, you know,
you've experienced?
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I can't say that I've noticed like a night and day difference for Nova, but one of the things that I notice is, like, she'll come home from school, you know, around 4 o'clock, and she's just worn out. Like, it's like she uses all her good behavior at school, and she gets home and she's like, I don't want anything to do with you or anybody else. And you know, we get here for horse therapy every Monday or every Wednesday, and afterwards she's just more open. She's a little bit more giggly, she's silly, she's talkative. So there's something about it seems to kind of help relax her and yet get her brain moving.
And put her in a better mood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I see that she's out there right now with her trainer.
She is. She's
if you notice in the background, they're doing the therapeutic horseback riding with.
And I don't know how well you can see it right now, but I want to point this out. Nova, when she's not on the back of a horse, I noticed this about 2 weeks ago when we were out here. She can't catch a ball. Like, you can toss a ball to her and she just can't catch it for whatever reason.
Really?
But
And look,
at her.
she's catching it while she's up there.
Yeah, I mean, not only are they moving on the back of a horse, but she's sideways, she's twisted, and she's
Bouncing.
and she's doing
And
it
she's
perfect.
still catching it every time.
And not just catching it, but like tossing it back. So yeah, there's something amazing about whatever horse therapy does.
Yes, I'll agree with that. Horseback riding, they determined that it was therapeutic and that it could be used for anxiety, for special needs, for motor skill issues, just a lot of different things.
There's something about the gait of a horse, from what I've read and what I understand, that helps connect the body to the mind and the emotions and all of that stuff. It just helps sync it all for whatever reason.
That's really crazy. We've got a couple instructors that are out here with us today. They're currently teaching a class. We're going to get them and we're going to get them mic'd up and some questions asked. The main question that we have here, though, is how do you get involved into this program? How do you contact them? And was it real hard for you to get her into this program?
It wasn't at all. You can either, you know, pay for it out of pocket. I don't know if they work with insurance or not. We'll have to talk to them
I don't believe
later.
they do.
Yeah, they may not. But I think it's like $35 a lesson. And I think, don't quote me on that, we'll ask her later for sure. So you can do it out of pocket, or if you have access to funding, like through the CDDO or some other charity work.
Shriners do a lot of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and so the Kansas Society.
Yeah. So I don't think it's hard at all. I just placed a phone call and sent her an email, and at the time my phone was kind of being wacky, so I ended up hearing back from her through email, and that's how we've corresponded, pretty much since then.
So, okay, I'll get Julius, as you know, he's also autistic, and I'll get him involved in some programs, and he will not show any enthusiasm or want
Right.
to go. How has that been? Does she act excited?
There's been a couple of weeks where she was just like, I don't want to go, and I don't think it had anything to do with the program, because look at her.
Right.
She's doing great, and it's one thing too. I think this is maybe her 8th lesson. Maybe I think they do about 10 weeks altogether. She's had several breaks in between, and pretty much she's in control of that horse. And I think you can see it right now. They're they're weaving
In and out of cones?
Yeah, they're doing an obstacle course. She's the one in control of that horse.
Oh, okay.
There may be somebody holding on to the lead, but they're not leading at this point. She just has picked it up, and she's so good at it. Now, the other young lady that's out here riding, I don't know her name off the top of my
Ayana?
head. Something like that, yeah. She has a lot less physical mobility than my daughter does. And I think it's just a great example of the range of motion that the clients have out here. They can work with just about everybody.
And I know that even like what she's working on her mobility, that sitting and riding on a horse, it will train.
Yeah.
It'll help define your mobility and
Exactly.
your core.
It helps strengthen the core. It helps your body kind of develop those neural pathways to recognize what's going on with your core, with your arms, with your legs, all of that.
Okay, well, when you say therapeutic riding, so we've looked at autism, we've looked at other physical impairments. What about PTSD and emotional stress and things like that? Are these prime candidates for therapeutic
I
riding?
believe so, and I'm pretty sure I heard Amanda saying that they have people that are well into their adulthood. I think she said 80 something.
Really?
That come out and ride, and it's actually something I wanted to talk to her about for myself. I've had crazy levels of anxiety and depression, thanks to my kiddo a lot of the time.
Right?
It's a hard life.
It's the reality of it.
Yeah, and I've just seen kind of the calming effect that it's had on my daughter, and I've
Want to
considered
experience that.
yeah, I want to know if it'll work for me. So I am sure that that it covers all of those things.
That's nice. So, want to take another shot real quick of this, what they do out here. They kind of do different exercises while riding. You'll notice they're passing her, trying to get her to grab.
Every week, also, almost every week, they also have a theme. So, like during the really cold days, we're inside the barn, and one week they were doing fishing. So you'd have a fishing pole with a special kind of hook on the bottom, and they'd have like paper fish
Oh yeah?
just out in the middle of the ring, and you'd have to go by and pick it up and like transfer it to the other side of the horse and drop it. So they do all kinds of different stuff like that too.
Which is actually a game for the kids, but it's fine motor skills
Exactly.
and motor skills development. So.
Exactly. And you can see now out in the middle, they've got Nova going through kind of another obstacle course. And it depends on the kid's level of mobility and just level in general, how many people they have helping. You can see that they've got somebody always hanging on to this little girl because she can't sit up straight on her own.
Right, we're gonna pull a couple of these people off of this track here in a minute, and we're gonna ask them some questions and get information so that you guys can, if you want to come out and be part of it. What's the actual name of it?
Freedom Hooves.
Freedom Hooves?
Therapeutic riding, I think, is what it is. We'll definitely
We might correct
verify
that when we
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
So we are going to take a short break. We'll be back with some of the girls from that you see out here with right now here in a few minutes. So go pay some bills. We'll be right back. Real people, real life.